Hello again, and I am recording today because A, I feel like it, and B, I think I have a couple more points to go over as far as current year gender politics, not just regarding my video, but regarding the trap question. I feel like I have missed a couple of points that I want to discuss about more of the male side of things rather than the female, because current year gender politics is very female focused, female oriented, and I really do want to, like the title says, improve gender relationships and gender relations in general. So we're gonna go into what I think young men need to do. They need to get married. They need to focus on getting their lives together, so that way you can get married faster. If you have been in multiple relationships, this should be your goal by the time you hit 25. You should know what you want out of life pretty soon. And if you don't, well, then it's time to buck up, buckaroo, because you really need to figure that part out of your life before it flashes by you. And I would also say that to young women out there, the clock's ticking, but then again, I probably cover that a lot more than I realize currently. I just feel like it needs to be said. And as far as you being a young man out there in the world, and if you have never got a date, just fucking do it. Stop crying, stop being a pussy, just get it done. You will be so happy when a girl says yes, and be like, oh wow, I don't have to worry about this shit anymore, I can do it. And it's really not as big of an issue as insults make it out to be. Don't focus on the e-girls, alright? I was going to make this a separate commentary, but I had already recorded this commentary and kind of fucked up at the end, so I realized I should just re-record it because I completely forgot the big problem with men today. Stop giving your money to e-girls! And once again, stop giving your money to e-girls. They do not need your money. They do not need your time. You should be saving that for a real girl, because only a real girl will satisfy everything that you biologically desire if you're a straight young guy. You should not be giving your money to these fucking e-girls and then blaming society. Okay, you know who's really wrong here? The e-girl for taking advantage of your stupid ass. But as with all internet problems, I think there was something earlier in the whole cycle of leftist power that has really dampened gender relations. And it goes into having a family and raising children, in that there were certain environmentalists that like to push this grand myth of if you have children, you are increasing your carbon footprint and doing damage to the environment. And to me, now, as a more enlightened person, I find that whole concept to be agitpropaganda, or agitprop. To me, it's just so ridiculous to believe that, fucking giving birth to more children causes climate change. I'm sorry for laughing while doing the take, but oh my god, it's like, at being an ex-progressive, you look back on your life and see the kind of dumb shit they used to believe, and you really have to laugh. And that one has to be one of the biggest. And if you don't like progressives, well, don't encourage them to procreate. And instead encourage this delusion so there are less of them. But really, I find it fucking hilarious that, a lot of people would push this. And then these are also the same people who push that we need to open the borders to third world migrants so that we can, stop the demographic displacement, when that causes the demographic displacement. Because to them, people are a number. People are not, they are, what they do. People are a statistic on a board. I would also say this about neoconservatives. They view people not as voting blocks, but as a number on a board to throw into endless wars. And to me, I just find it really fucking funny that the progressive left would initially have done this and spread this lie, and it has been completely cemented, of course, by intersectionality, by telling white people that they don't have a place in society, and therefore they should stop having white babies. But then again, those people don't even like fucking mixed race people. So it's like, what's the point? How are you supposed to have a family? So to me, I say fuck those people. Those people are leading you down the beaten path of bullshit. And you should just have a family and say fuck them, because they are not worth your time. Overall, though, I think that the big problem in modern gender relations, as I just started going into, but really want to cement with this point, is we need to defeat intersectionality. Intersectionality needs to be defeated as an ideology. It needs to be stamped out. It needs to be routed. It needs to be utterly ass-blasted and defeated, because this is the ideology that is causing so much of these escalated problems. You know, the rise of new left-wing communism, the rise of anti-white agendas, the rise of fucking, you know, insane rabid leftists that want to beat you for not thinking like they do. And, you know, I don't think that the right really has a strong answer. I think campaign Donald Trump was a very strong answer to these people. And once he was elected, they fucking freaked out. And because no one did anything on either side to really stick it to these people and say, fuck you, we don't like you, get away, you ruined everything. You know, by hitching your wagons to Hillary Clinton in the latter half of the Barack Obama presidency, you know, you fucked us. You royally fucked us. And to them I say, yeah, that's completely true. But, you know, we really have to think about this in terms of the long-term plan. You know, how are we going to defeat intersectionality? Well, the one thing I would say is that the left really needs to clean house. They need to burn the Democratic Party to the ground. They need to let the far left just take it over, or tell the far left that, hey, if all of you go to the Greens, you'll make the Green Party legitimate. And it probably won't work, but it would still be really funny to watch them go to the Greens. But, yeah, so it really, the modern American left needs to be stamped out. You know, it is a clown car right now, and it's a really funny clown car, but if the pendulum swings back in their direction, as they stand right now, it will be the most unfunny clown car of all time, and we could literally start declaring the fall of Rome, because it will be true. And these people, like, laugh at you as fucking third world migrants come in and take over their neighborhoods. And, you know, get their kids hooked on drugs because some of them might be cartel members. You know, fucking, like, it's so stupid to assume that all this shit. But anyway, yeah, so intersectionality being stomped out is the goal. And the second point, I think, that needs to be done in order to root this out is to get at the culture. We really need to get the youth and the arts heavily invested in a free speech, politically incorrect kind of culture, because at the moment, they currently are just riding along with the establishment and doing the establishment's bidding. And I don't think that's really wise for any of these people. You see people like Sarah Silverman getting in trouble this week for fucking being in blackface in 2007 while being the comedian to spearhead cancel culture, or one of many. And to me, I find that, like, so fucking ironic. And at a certain point, a lot of these studios will wake up when their bottom dollar is destroyed. A lot of comedians are already pretty woke to the idea that this social justice shit is not funny and it doesn't help them in their careers, and it's really just to virtue signal into the greater wide world and Twitter.com. And yeah, Twitter.com is something that has to go down in order to defeat intersectionality. We have to defeat these giant social media companies, because as long as there are progressive people, there will always be, you know, agents who want to insert themselves into positions of authority in order to get everybody else banned. And I think that will be the real battleground. Is if we win social media, we need to move the fuck in on everything else. We need to have more filmmakers. We need to have more musicians. We need to have more comic book artists and writers. We need to have more video game developers. And I'm seeing all these people coming out of the woodwork, shouting down the journalist lies, shouting down the progressive narratives. You know, Anita Sarkeesian no longer has a voice. And while that's great and all, we need to do more. We need to do way the fuck more. You know, there should be movies like The Hunt, but spoiler alert, for our side, for the anti-social justice side, for the anti-woke side. There should be edgy movies that are actually edgy and not just Taika Waititi in a Nazi, in an Adolf Drumpfler fucking uniform. And I said Nazi, Google. Nazi. God, stupid algorithms. Anywho, but as far as improving gender relations, alongside defeating intersectionality, we need to actually make an effort to understand each other and not let all this ideology bog down human relations. Because even though we are made up of multiple races and two different genders, we still are very different people at the end of the day. And we need to find people that are actually compatible. You know, getting the divorce rate down would solve a lot of shit and would say that, hey, relationships are not toxic. In fact, relationships are what makes the engine of the human race run. And people will realize that, oh, I don't need to be like my divorced parents who are totally miserable as they keep trying to find a significant other to replace what they thought they had with their ex-husband or ex-spouse. And we need to make relationships cool again. We need to make marriage cool again. Because if we don't, then we're fucked. We're going to just be like the boomer generation, fucking retiring off the benefits of the younger class. And we don't even have a younger class currently right now that is able to benefit these boomers, which is great, because fuck the boomers. That will be a video in and of itself. I'm sure of it. But, yeah, so we need to defeat intersectionality. We need to make relationships, especially marriage, cool again. And I think we need a little bit of humility to finally end this. I think men will own up to a lot of their shit if women really own up to their shit. And I think this is shown by the outright ridiculousness that came from those Gillette toxic masculinity ads. Those ads were so fucking retarded because it was clearly made by women who view themselves as goddesses, calling out beta males who they use as their personal pet projects to get shit for them that they don't want to do themselves. And, you know, beta males, you need to fucking wake up, you pathetic piece of scum. I'm not going to call you gammas. I'm not some kind of fucking Owen Benjamin loving shill. But you are definitely weak, and you need course correction. And you need to realize that if I work on myself, then I can be a better version of myself. And when I'm that better version of myself, I won't have to do all this lame beta behavior like giving money to e-girls. Again, no money for e-girls. So, to men and women out there who are trying to bridge the divide, tread